Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Warmoth. It's been a stressful Friday for parents in Brevard County with false threats of explosive devices at multiple schools.
Police searched all 4 schools in the Melbourne area and thankfully found nothing. While it ended up being a fake threat, News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez spoke to some parents tonight who were really scared.
Parents are shaken up. Many tell me the moment they learned there was a bomb threat, their world stopped. Now, while it ended up being a fake threat, it was a very real scare for parents. How do you feel knowing that your daughter was there while this happened?
Disappointed.
On Friday, Melbourne police say they received claims that explosive devices were left at O'Galley High School, Melbourne Central Catholic, Melbourne High School, and Parkhurst Academy. They quickly began searching the campuses while the school district notified parents explaining the anonymous bomb threat. I asked parents how they felt at that moment. What was it like when you saw that email?
Stressful, definitely stressful. Of course, my son's life and everything. Just thinking about what's going on here at the school, and if anything was valid, and worst case scenario, but try to stay positive and optimistic about it.
Very scary. I was immediately texting my student, making sure she was okay. It's hard to put into words. Your throat closes up, your heart freezes, and you think, my goodness, I hope everybody's all right.
While police didn't think the threats were credible, they took it seriously and investigated. And many were uneasy until the final all clear.
You think it might be a false threat, but you don't know until you know.
Parents say these swatting incidents need to stop. What's the message to whoever is making these false threats?
Stop making those false threats. Stop threatening people. Be happy.
Get an education, stop playing with other people's lives, let them do what they need to be doing in school and do better for everyone's sake.
I do think that the parents of students who do these kinds of things should be held accountable to some extent, because it starts at home.
Students continued with their normal school day after police concluded their investigation. Meanwhile, they continue looking into who made these threats. Reporting in Brevard County, Stephanie Rodriguez, getting results, News 6.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. And police are still working to find out who made these threats. And I think I echo all of what the parents said. They had a lot of good things to say about this, and on a very unfortunate day. It's just like, it happens constantly.
Well, and it happens it really does happen.
Right.
And so when you make these threats, parents don't know what to think. Like that one parent was saying her throat closes up and you think your child is in danger. That's awful.
Not to mention all the resources being pulled to clear the space, and it costs a ton of money. All right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joining us now. We have a warmer weekend ahead. Jonathan, looking decent. There is a chance for maybe a shower or two tomorrow, though.
That's right, right along the coast especially. We'll break into that with future radar coming up in about 15 minutes. Right now, though, the warm-up is here over the past 24 hours, at least compared to 24 hours ago, so 6:30 yesterday. We were running about 10 to 15 degrees warmer at this hour. We were talking that today would be that transition day to warmer days ahead, and wait till you see the forecast. That'll get us back into the 80s. That puts us right now at the 72 in Titusville, 69 for us in Micco. We're at 65 degrees in Mount Dora, in Leesburg. Denellen, we're also into the mid-60s tonight. It is still gusty, and this is something that we are also going to keep with us through the weekend. About 14 to 20 mile per hour gusts, gusting to 25 in Titusville right now. We'll talk about why that is and when those winds back off, guys, in about 15 minutes.
See you then. Thank you, Jonathan. A huge nature park and trail is set to open in DeBary next year. More than 200 acres in the city were set to be developed into housing, but the city scooped up that land to stop it from happening.
Yeah, now it's turning it into Alexander Island with the help of a major grant the city just received. News 6's Molly Reed got a behind-the-scenes tour of what it will look like.
You don't hear nothing out here. This is pure nature at its finest. You look out here and you go, wow, Mother Nature is really bigger than we are.
Stretched along the St. Johns River in DeBary.
So we're planning on not only building kayak launches, fishing piers, overlooks, et cetera, et cetera. We want to turn this into a one-of-a-kind nature park.
Will be Alexander Island.
You can picture the boardwalk going straight through here, but this is what the whole southern part of the berm looks like, is exactly like this.
City Manager Carmen Rosamondo walked me through the plans in different areas of the future nature park.
And so the river comes all the way to the front here, but all this is riverfront.
A berm created by the Army Corps in the 50s when they dredged the river will turn into a boardwalk along the water and around the property. And a 50-acre oak forest, one of the reasons the city paid $3.5 million last year to save it from being developed into 64 homes.
And our plan is to bring unpaved trails through this here. So even during the summertime when it's hot, there's a 1 or 2 mile walk of shaded walk through the historic oak hammock, and you can see what old Florida really looks like.
The city just got a $2.5 million ECHO grant from the county to boost their funding.
Well, we have $4.3 million to get started, and that will provide a good foundation for this particular project. But this is going to be a 10 to maybe 20-year project to be able to enjoy the river without needing a boat, and that's really what we're trying to focus on.
Now, the entrance to Alexander Island will be off Fort Florida Road here where my car is, and just outside of the entrance is the end of the trail that leads down to the Sunrail station here in DeBary and the future Main Street the city is currently building for a downtown. So all of it will be connected. The city tells me they hope to have the park at least mostly open by December of next year. In Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed getting results, News 6.
It's great. I mean, listen,
oh my gosh.
DeBary's got a lot to look forward to. I think that is such a smart idea. And you see development coming in, and sometimes the city's hands are tied or whatever, but to have the city step up like that, purchase the land, and to make it a place that's going to be lasting for generations,
You
hopefully.
really don't hear of that happening enough. And I love those big trees that they're going to save. That is just icing on the cake.
Love it. Well, the holiday season brings in a ton of visitors to Central Florida, right? And get this, that number could grow even more.
Yeah, News 6's Laverne McGee found out today that growth could end up putting more money in your pocket.
The money that comes in from tourists staying in hotels in the area brings a lot of revenue to Orange County. And next year, with a new theme park opening, that's expected to bring even more. Local leaders are banking on that. New numbers show tourists staying in Central Florida hotels brought in more than $359 million in taxes last fiscal year. And that amount is expected to increase significantly next year. The money comes from a 6% bed tax for people staying in area hotels for less than 6 months. That tax was the hot topic at the final Tourist Development Council meeting for the year. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings is the council chair, and he's very optimistic.
The opening of Epic Universe in the May period of time next year is going to definitely result in us seeing a bump in our tourism visits.
All 3 of the new Epic Universal hotels have already started accepting reservations. This means more tourists and more tax dollars to fund things like the $90 million 4-level facility for UCF Stadium, which just broke ground yesterday, and the $400 million expansion of Camping World Stadium.
I'm excited about the expansion of Camping World Stadium. That will allow us to continue to compete to get world-class sporting events and entertainment events here in this community. I'm really excited about Camping World because of what it means to the entire neighborhood around it. It's transitioning that neighborhood into a better quality of life for the people who live there.
So what does this mean for you? Sean Snaith, UCF's director for the Institute for Economics, says some people could see bigger paychecks.
And recently we finally started to see wages and salaries growing faster than that cost of living. For several years, we saw the cost of living rising very rapidly, but wages just didn't keep up.
They've been collecting these taxes since 1979, and the money must be used for tourism-related projects. Laverne McGee getting results, News 6.
More money for me? Yeah, sure.
You'll
I
take
like
it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Not a big shock, though. I mean, talking about Epic Universe, and that place is so impressive, and we know so many people are just itching to get their hands on anything.
Because look at what's happening now without it. So
yeah,
gravy.
More money coming. Love it. Hey, let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Meet Penny. Ooh, cute girl. It's a 500-pounder, great white shark, pinged off the coast of Brevard County, according to OSearch Shark Tracker. So initially tagged in April of 2023, Penny has traveled close to 9,000 miles.
Ooh, she swims past Brevard County pretty often, though, as she is on her way to the Gulf of Mexico for her annual migration. She winters here. O-Search's tracker allows you to follow Penny's journey and other animals like sea turtles and whales. We have a link to that tracker on clickorlando.com. And they say that she's not even fully grown yet. She's a 10-footer, 500 pounds. She's got some growing to do.
She does. And listen, if you want to go out and swim off the coast of Brevard County, go do it. You're not going to see Penny. She's really far out.
Listen,
they have
that's
sharks
what you
out
want.
there, sure.
I was just going to say, I've been out with O-Search before, and it was startling how close to shore they are, because it is their home.
You can probably see the shore from, and Penny's just, again, going to the Gulf, just passing through, Here are some other stories trending on clickorlando.com as well. So America's oldest man is buried, well, right here in Central Florida. Charlie Smith claimed to be 137 years old when he died. Not sure I believe it, but his life story and the location of his headstone, and you can check that all out at clickorlando.com.
That's interesting. And our digital team is so excited for the holidays. They've already set up the NORAD, ooh, this is early, the NORAD Santa tracker on clickorlando.com. I can tell you where he is right now. He's resting. NORAD won't start tracking for another 10 days or so, according to their website, but you can check it out right now on our website, again, clickorlando.com. All right, Justin, people have a bit more time to apply for an SBA loan.
Yeah, they sure do. The federal government just extended the deadline if Floridians still need some relief from hurricane season. I'm going to break down how these loans can make all the difference in this week's Make Ends Meets.
And the bells and whistles of Seacrest Studios getting results in a Central Florida children's hospital, how they turn the art of getting better into a real production.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Palm Bay, Leesburg, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your weekend evening traffic alert. Listen, as the holidays approach, so do a lot of the cars on the road. It's going to increase big time. So just be careful as you're traveling over the weekend, because it's not going to stop our construction out here in the attraction area on I-4 between 528, more like Sand Lake, down towards 535. So be careful there. And then 417 overnight, almost every single night on 417 between 528 and down there towards the airport. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely, and I'll see you Monday morning.
Well, hurricane season may be over, but the devastation caused by this year's storms is still being felt all across the state.
An SBA loan is one lifeline to get people back on their feet, and the federal government just extended the deadline to apply. So I'm going to break down what you need to know in this week's Make Ends Meet.
We want people to apply so they can take advantage of this money that's there for them.
January 7th, that's the deadline to apply for a loan from the Small Business Administration if you're still struggling from the 1-2 punch of Hurricanes Helene and Milton.
It's better than a bank, and our interest rates are a lot less. The great thing, too, is for the first 12 months is deferred payment at 0%.
Rick Corrales with the Small Business Administration stopped by News 6 to explain how these low-interest loans can help you recover, whether it's covering repairs, replacing damaged property, or restoring your business to full operation. What's some of the criteria that someone would need to get an SBA loan?
Be in the disaster area. That's number one. Other than that, it's very specific to the person based on their financials.
And the rates are competitive, as low as 2.8% for homeowners and renters and 4% for businesses. Personal property, vehicles included, covered as well.
Real estate piece, we can go up to $500,000. And for personal property, $100,000. For instance, vehicles, that's covered.
Corrales told us some people even use the loans while waiting for insurance payouts and then pay off the loan when the insurance money comes through. A pretty savvy way to help you make ends meet.
We can even cover their deductible, and they don't have to take the full amount. SBA can offer you something, they take what they need.
How quickly does that money come to them?
Within 5 business days, we can fund them $50,000 to get started.
Justin Mormouth getting results, News 6.
If you had told me you could get a small business loan for your home or if you rent someplace. Yeah.
Personal property, a car, something
No
gets
idea.
damaged. You know how long it takes to get that insurance money coming through.
Correct.
And this just bridges that gap. It was shocking to me. I didn't know that. I had no idea going into that interview.
And
I
they
said, wait.
obviously wanna get
I was
the
like,
word out.
you said homeowners?
Yeah.
And so there is one caveat here. The SBA disaster loan program did run out of money back in October. You may have saw the headlines with that. So all new loan offers are on hold until Congress approves more funding. Here's the thing. All indications are pointing to this happening sooner rather than later. So it's a really good idea to go ahead, apply now, and that reduces your wait time once that money does eventually get approved.
And figure out what you need, like get all that paperwork going.
A lot of
so
paperwork.
then when the time comes, it's just like done.
Got more info on that on clickorlando.com. So check it out. All right, let's give you a live look now. Downtown Mount Dora,
I
beautiful.
love the shot.
Look at that. Look how nice the shot is. You can even see the stars or satellites, whatever that is, blinking off in the distance. Probably a Starlink or something up there.
I was going to say it's Starlink.
You never know what you're looking at nowadays, but clear skies, it looks like.
Drones, I don't know.
And not as chilly either, so a little
It's
bit
a
more
nice
comfortable.
night out there, is what we're trying to say. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us. I hope you confirm that what we observed is correct.
I'm not going to confirm the drones.
No. But it's a nice night out there.
Very. I'm just kidding, by the way. Yeah, temperatures.
This isn't New Jersey, where the drones are flying around, apparently.
Boy, I'd love to get to the bottom of that one for sure. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s at this hour. So we have completely turned things around. As expected, we're running about 10 to 15 degrees warmer at this hour than we were yesterday at this time. But more cold is on the way. Likely 2 more shots. The second one right before Christmas going to be likely the coldest we have felt so far this season. In the short term, though, high surf is going to be an issue if you're planning on going to the beaches. Dangerous rip currents in the mix as well, thanks to that stiff breeze off of the Atlantic. But as mentioned, the warm-up is underway, and it's here to stay for at least the next several days. We're in the upper 60s in Kissimmee, 66 right now, and Holopop. Now here's a look at tonight.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Certainly not as cold when you wake up tomorrow morning. Average low temperatures this time of the year are in the low 50s. We're going to be in the low 60s in Orlando, mid 50s in Leesburg. So pretty seasonable, even a couple of notches above that for some parts of central Florida. Now, tomorrow we're getting back to the mid to upper 70s, so we're going to be a couple of notches above normal for this time of the year. Rain chances at about 20% tomorrow. That's all because of the breeze off of the Atlantic. The highest opportunity for those showers is going to be right along the coast with that breeze out of the east. And it's going to stay breezy for the next several days, really into the next week. Gusts at times 15 to 20 miles an hour through about Monday, and then we'll see even a tick up from there as we get into the early part of next week, out ahead of our next storm system. Now, the reason for the wind and the dangerous beach conditions over the next few days, it's the same chunk of high pressure that brought us the cooler air. It's going to be drifting back over to the Atlantic and getting stronger. We also have that weak area of low pressure closer to Puerto Rico. In between the two, the winds are really going to crank up. You see the brighter greens, oranges, and reds. That's the strong wind out of the east. You have clockwise flow out of high pressure, counterclockwise flow out of low pressure, and that means an easterly breeze for us, pushing right into the beaches, and that's the main reason, again, for the high rip current risk and the high surf. Waves could break at about 6 to 8 feet over the weekend. Clouds and rain forecast, the same deal. That breeze off the Atlantic can help to generate a few stray showers. The further west you are, closer to I-75, you're going to be dry over the next couple of days. Best chance for rain, you'll see it there, closer to the I-95 corridor. That's 3 o'clock on your Saturday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. Just a few passing showers in the mix. As the warm-up, though, continues, we're looking at the upper-level pattern now. The brighter the orange, that's going to be the warmer temperatures. Once you start getting into the blues and certainly purples, that's the colder air. Now watch what happens. We talked about that couple of blasts of cold air coming down the pipeline after this warm-up. There's Monday, still very, very warm. We're likely going to get back into the low to mid 80s. But you see here this dip in the jet stream, just like that. That works its way down to the Florida Peninsula as we work our way into Thursday, December 19th. So likely going to get cooler by that point, and then a huge dip in the jet stream. This is now Sunday, December 22nd. So right up into Christmas, big time blast of cold air. That one is likely going to be the coldest air of the season by far, settling in just before Christmas. Not this weekend, though, pushing 80 Saturday and Sunday, low to mid 80s next week. Again, rain chances stay slim, especially along the coast. We'll be right back.
Coming up Monday, one local county set to build its first new high school in over a decade.
Where hundreds of students will soon have a new home, and how this school is being built with the future in mind.
And your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Mornings, 5 to 7.
Orlando is home to some of the best pediatric hospitals in the country, but along with the emergency rooms and ICUs, another unit is proving to be just as therapeutic.
Julie Broughton shows us the equipment that may seem out of place, but it certainly has its audience.
So we have our soundboard here, we have our switcher, we have a few cameras in the ceiling.
Microphones, cameras, switchers, and lights.
Today we have a special treat for you.
I'm surrounded by all the bells and whistles of a modern-day studio.
Julie Broughton, she is here today. She's come to do an interview.
But this isn't News 6.
Julie, you do this segment called Getting Results, right?
That's right. It's Seacrest Studios at Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children, where I was a guest for one of their daily shows. The studio was donated by the Ryan Seacrest Foundation.
And when I heard about it, I was like, we want to do what? We want to put a studio at a hospital? At first, it didn't make sense to me, but to see it in person, to see it in action, it all makes sense.
Special guests have included everyone from wrestling stars, sports figures, actors, and musicians. But most days, patients are the ones behind the mics where they create their own programming.
So not only can they be the star, they can also touch all this equipment. We can teach them about this equipment.
The shows go out to all the patient rooms.
So one of the things that we want to do in the pediatric setting is make the hospital less scary. And we do that through normalization and distraction. So they kind of get their mind off the fact that they're here and they're going through something challenging.
And so in your bag, you should have some popcorn.
On this day, I was able to help with a craft.
Are you ready to open your popcorn?
4-year-old Catalina Rodriguez helped me while kids followed along in their rooms.
And I'm going to give it a light dusting, which is a meteorological term. Have you ever made a tree out of popcorn before?
The project was donated by Snacksational Brands, and the company is getting results, donating a portion of their sales to help fund this studio and about a dozen more just like it at other pediatric hospitals throughout the country.
My daughter is, I love it. It's very,
Yes.
It's not scared.
And you have a partnership with Ryan Seacrest Foundation. Tell us why that is important to you.
Well, first of all, we're an Orlando-based company, so that's very exciting for us to be here today. We just feel that a partnership is something that is a call to duty, but seeing how it really interfaces with the studios and the children here is, beyond rewarding.
Whether it's behind the mic or in front of the camera, this studio makes getting better a production.
Well, thank you guys again for tuning in to Seacrest Studios right here on channel 128. Stay tuned for more fun coming up right here in Seacrest Studios. We'll see you guys real soon.
What a great idea for those kids, and especially because they get to be a part of the production and touch everything. It's not like, hands off, just watch us work. How boring would that be?
I mean, that might be my favorite story this week. I think that just has such a huge impact on these kids, and I love that you can just find it anywhere, in any room. And also, I think I heard Julie when she was talking about it earlier that it also can be broadcast to other hospitals that have
they have
a
like
Seacrest
15
studio.
of them, I think.
And I think that's so neat as well.
Neat.
So,
Yeah,
I think
really
it's
cool.
just all around such a great idea, whoever came up with that, and it continues to evolve. I know that too. That's really cool.
And the kids love it,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So if you know someone getting results, we want to know about them. You can nominate someone, by going to our website, clickorlando.com, click on the menu in the top left corner, and then click on the Contact Us button under the WKMG column.
You will also see a Getting Results Award submission option, and that's where you're going to find that form. Fill it out, and you just might see them coming up in the coming weeks, featured right here on News 6, and we know there are so many people.
Oh my gosh,
who are out
well,
there.
that's how she finds out about all of these other things, and there's no shortage of that. It seems like a lot of work to do all the clicking and the dropping down, but it's worth it because you want to recognize people who do especially work like that. All right, thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
Remember, we break news on clickorlando.com. We'll be back at 11. Hope you have a great night.